Did you set New Year resolutions at the start of 2025? Do you remember what those goals were? Did you complete any of them? Well, if you didn't, you're not alone. A recent study showed that only 6% of people who set personal development goals at the start of the year actually achieved them, meaning a whopping 94% didn't. So, in this video, we're going to talk about how we can become a part of that minority of people who we see on social media, the ones who decided to achieve something and actually did it. Hello, my name is Mayoni, and I'm a doctor-turned-entrepreneur and mom. As someone who's lived and worked in several countries in 4 different continents, I've realized that people all over the world are pretty much the same, with the same hopes and dreams. And no matter what resources we do or don't have, with the right drive, determination, and effort, we can get there. So, what is it that those handful of people are doing to achieve their goals, to change their lives? Here are some evidence-based strategies. Number 1, mindset. Look around you. Any man-made thing that you see was first formed in the mind of someone. They had to think it up before actually making it. Any action that anyone takes has to be formed in their mind first before their body complies. Basically, your mind is everything. If your mind is active, alert, and motivated, so are you. And if your mind is sluggish, lazy, and unmotivated, so are you. Your mind is designed to conserve energy, and being a trailblazing goal achiever uses up energy. Which is why, anytime you try to do something outside of your comfort zone, your mind will tell you, "No, let's not do that today. Let's just chill out on the couch and look at TikTok videos." To actually do something different and work towards your goal, you need to not listen to your bargaining mind. As Dr. Michelle Rozen found out in her study, the 6% of goal achievers all had one thing in common. They deliberately pushed their limits and learned new skills by not listening to their mind. I like to apply the Buddhist philosophy of being mindful. So, for example, if my mind is telling me it's tired and it would rather go on Facebook rather than read a chapter in a book, I become mindful of the mental chatter. I gently thank my mind for giving me this option, but I tell it that I know it's better for me to read that book, and that if once I've started to read, I still feel too tired, I'll stop and rest. I find that treating my mind like a friend and being gentle but firm with it calms the wayward thoughts better than fighting it and telling it off. Number 2, systems. Forget about setting goals. Now, that's totally counterintuitive to what this video is about, which literally has the word goals in the title. But hear me out, okay? According to James Clear, the New York Times best-selling author of his amazing book, Atomic Habits, systems are better at making progress than goals. His argument is that goals describe a moment in time which upon achieving can leave you feeling a little lost and can result you in going back to your old ways because the goal has been achieved. Also, he points out that both winners and losers set goals. So obviously, it's not just goals that differentiate the people who succeed from the ones who don't. Having systems means you're not working towards a particular point in time, but rather putting in the work on a consistent basis, which will then help you to achieve not only your initial goal, but take you beyond that. I like to break my systems up into mental and physical systems. Mental systems are, as the name suggests, systems in my mind. Number 1, I create an identity. Which of these 2 sentences inspires you more? You got an A in math, or you're an A student in math. Let's try again. You run several times a week, or you're a runner who runs several times a week. I'm guessing in each example, it was the latter that was more inspiring. This is because in each of the latter examples, there is an identity that's been created around the activity. A goal is something you work towards, but not achieving it doesn't really change you fundamentally, whereas an identity is a part of you. And so maintaining that is a fundamental act of maintaining what you perceive as you. My whole life, I've identified as someone who loves to stay active. And so I make sure to find the time to keep my body active at least 2 or 3 times a week, no matter how busy I get. The second mental system I use is the if-then plan. It's also called an implementation intention, and it's a mental strategy that spells out the when, where, and how of a goal or intention. So instead of saying, I will exercise 3 times a week, an if-then plan would put more detail into it, such as, if or when I come home on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every week, then I will go to the gym from 5 to 6. It can also be used to detail out potential setbacks to achieving your goal, such as, if I have been studying or doing homework until 6 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday and have been unable to go to the gym on that day, I'll go to the gym on Saturday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to make up for the lost day. Basically, putting down pre-specified detailed plans like this have been shown to greatly reduce the probability of them failing or not following through, as it does not require as much willpower. A meta-analysis, which is a study of the findings of several studies, found that of over 8,000 participants from a total of 94 studies, showed a medium to large correlation between setting an if-then plan and achieving their goals. Basically, people who wrote out a detailed if-then plan were far more likely to achieve their goals than those who had not. Another strategy that I've read about is the WHOOP strategy. It's very similar to the if-then strategy as far as I can tell, so I think you could probably use one or the other. WHOOP, which was developed by psychologist Gabrielle Oettingen and colleagues, stands for wish, what's the goal you want to achieve? Outcome, how will you feel when you achieve this goal? Obstacle, what are your main obstacles to achieving the goal? And plan, how can you tackle these obstacles? In a study, 66 high school students were asked about their motivation and expectation of success in doing practice PSAT tests during their summer vacation. They were also asked to identify 2 obstacles that might stand in the way of completing the tests. One half of the group was then asked to write down 2 contingency plans for each of the obstacles they identified. This was the test group. The other half was not asked to do this, and they were the control group. At the end of the summer, the control group had completed an average of 84 practice problems, while the test group had done an average of 140 problems, almost double. The simple act of writing out a plan for the expected obstacles had enabled the test group to work towards and meet their goal far better than the control group. Now, on to physical systems. But why do we even need these systems? Because doing the things you need to do to achieve a goal are typically hard and take effort. If you think about it, most of the things that we should do, like study harder, eat healthy, and stay active, can be boring and difficult to do. Remember, our brain wants to conserve energy, so it tells us these are boring. Whereas the things we shouldn't do are fun and easy, like endless scrolling, eating junk, and lying on the couch all day. Systems are a collection of daily habits that you do to gradually help you get better and achieve your goal. Temptation bundling. Described in Atomic Habits by James Clear, this means bundling something you like to do with something you're supposed to do. For example, I like to watch my TV show on Netflix while I do my 20-minute workout every day. It's like a little gift to myself because otherwise I wouldn't get much time to watch it during the day. Change the status quo. As mentioned before, the things we like tend to be the ones without benefit for us, while the things that are of benefit to us are the ones we don't really like or find hard. Inversing this to make the hard thing easy and the easy thing hard is another system to help achieve your goal. Making the hard thing easy could be something like temptation bundling, which we talked about earlier. It could also include streamlining entry into the activity, like wearing your workout gear when getting ready for the day, so that you can just slip into a workout whenever. Or leaving your study book open at the page you know you have to revise later in the evening. Making the easy thing hard could be putting your phone in another room during a certain time of the day when you're supposed to be working towards your goal. You could detail that out in your if-then plan so that you make a habit of making your phone inaccessible for that period of time. Accountability. Staying accountable basically means taking responsibility for your actions. There are multiple things you can do to stay accountable when working towards something. Like, number 1, tracking your progress. Monitoring your progress shows you where you are at on your journey. It can be a reality check for some who haven't done as much as they think they have, or it can be a source of inspiration for those who have been diligent. Either way, it tells you if you need to change your habits or keep doing what you're doing. Number 2, having an accountability partner. We cannot and should not expect to do everything alone. Having an accountability partner provides you external support and encouragement, another cheerleader other than just yourself. This includes hanging out with like-minded people. We've all heard the saying, you are the company you keep. So if you're working towards acing that exam, hang around other people who have the same goal and are actively studying, doing practice tests, and holding group discussions. Being a part of that group will not only inspire you, but will also hold you accountable. After mindset and systems, the final thing I want to talk about is celebrating the journey. As you continue using the systems you put in place, you will start to see changes. Changes in your mindset, your habits, your priorities, and even your perception and worldview. These are small milestones that you are reaching in your strive to bettering yourself. Celebrate these achievements. They came about as a direct result of your hard work. So celebrating those is really important to maintain your morale and continued commitment. Completing those smaller tasks gives you a sense of pride in your effort, and acknowledging them ensures that you stay on course. And anyway, who doesn't love a celebration, right? Remember that everything we want can be achieved through daily habits. And all this hoopla of creating goals, systems, and trackers, at the end of the day, is really to create and strengthen valuable and beneficial habits, and to weaken and seize detrimental habits we may have. With consistent habits to do the work and resilience to overcome the obstacles, you can achieve each and every one of your goals. To learn about how to grow your resilience, click on this video. And remember, you are your own superhero.